Hey, thank you for coming by Tori Magoo 44 and happy October 1st. This is, if you were in my house, you would see this little nifty lady. I grew up, my mom loved Halloween. She loved all the holidays, but she was really fun. She always dressed up like one of these people. She was a witch every year, scaring people to death, but she always had really fun things she did with them. But check this chick out. She's got really, really, really long legs, and there's her feet. Stop, we got to get her feet in there. She's super cool. Anyway, there she is. Happy October. So I hope you guys do something fun for October. I mean, it's one of those months where, you really can't have a lot of fun. I know there's a lot of serious, horrible stuff going on right now. I mean, really, really serious. But, you got to just inject some humor into it and have some fun, because that's the only thing we can do. I mean, I don't know unless you have a big solution, and if you do, let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to set her down. There you go, Mrs. Witch. She's really cool. Anyway, a couple of people have asked me some questions, so I'm going to go over them. One is, what did I think of disconnection when I was in Scientology? Disconnection is the policy L. Ron Hubbard wrote, declaring people suppressive for what he called high crimes, which could be, you don't know when you're in, which is like the Truman Show. Like I said, you can't really see the walls. But what basically happens is they declare someone as suppressive, and you are cut off from them completely. You're not allowed to talk to them. That's it. It doesn't matter who it is. They could have been at the top of the mountain, the best person in the world, which did happen to Ivan Obelinsky. He was the head of AOLA for years. And overnight, declared suppressive. You didn't know about him. There's top secret stuff that he was doing that we found out about, and thus he's declared. So, you don't really have a choice in it, because if you talk to Ivan now, or anyone else declared, you're declared. And that's how Hubbard set it up. So you just have to kind of go, well, okay, hopefully he comes back, and Hubbard, they have all kinds of stuff to make it sound okay, like you can work through A to E, which are different steps that someone can always come back and work through in ethics, and then they'll be back part of the group, right? So it makes it sound like, well, they must not want to be part of the group. You don't really realize what really goes. I mean, at least I didn't. I mean, I knew they were declared. I knew I couldn't talk to them. I didn't like it. I never liked disconnection. I never felt parents should not be allowed to talk to their children ever. I don't care what. I never thought kids should disconnect from their parents. I disagree with that then, and I disagree with it now. As far as adults, and they, that's a thing Scientology ran, and you don't have any choice in it. For years, while I was in, I would tell parents who were like, well, I'm going to just kick my kid out because he's doing drugs or something. I'd say, it's your child. You know what I mean? You're the parent. I don't think you should put Scientology before your children. So that's how I felt on that. And I still do. I'm avidly against disconnection. I think it's one of the worst things in the world. I know now 7 young people who have taken their lives who were all Scientologists, and I, Tori, believe that a great part of it is because of disconnection, because you are so trashed as soon as you are declared suppressive, or leave, or change your mind, or anything, as far as speaking out. And it's a heavy thing to go through. You guys have heard all the different things I've gone through. It's a lot. And I'm an adult, you know what I mean? So imagine being 20, 21, you've got enough stuff going on already, and then this, right? Okay, so there's that, and often those kids had one parent in, one parent out. So the parent out was against Scientology, the parent in was for it. So that's hard too. The next thing, someone asked me about, FSMs, field staff members. In Scientology, where does the money go, right? Where does it go? Now, for years, Hubbard was taking it, right? And you've read things about that, where he was living up on a ranch. Nobody in Scientology knows this, but he was getting $1 million a week in cash coming to his ranch, right? And his ranch filled up with cash, to the point the cash had to go out in the barn. To the point where he finally said, just dig a hole in a mountain and put the cash in there. And that's how they started the titanium disc thing, which David Miscavige actually, kind of ran and still probably runs, where they lock up the tech and on titanium discs in the mountains, so if the world blows up, you can always get to the tech which we used to joke about when we were in. It's like, the whole world is blown up, but these hands come up out of the rubble, and these Scientologists are crawling along, going to New Mexico so that they can get to the titanium discs and get their meters out and start auditing. I mean, it's unbelievable, but true. Okay, so the FSMs, how that works, they're people that are actually kind of legs of the senior management, right? They're making money on every dollar that they can reg in, that they can bring in. They make a 10% or 20%. Now, are they equal to Miscavige? I don't believe so, because they are part of the Truman Show. Whereas Miscavige and Hubbard were running the show. They understood it was a show. But these people are in the show, and they're doing their best to be Scientologists. I mean, granted, I don't think it's that great because they're making money off of people, and a lot of the top FSMs, all they do is recycle the top OTs because the big money is there. They haven't brought in new people into Scientology in years. And that was one of my upsets even when I was in. It was like, wait a minute, these guys are making thousands of dollars, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. It's a business, and they're not bringing anybody new in. They're just recycling the OTs, getting them to buy the next thing, buy this, buy that, and they get a percentage of it, which is pretty creepy too. But they're different than the executives in that they are I believe, in the show. They don't really understand the stuff the average person who's watching this, they don't know. And so they're being Scientologists. They're rewarded for being great Scientologists because they're helping people continue on becoming OTs and stuff like that. When in truth, it's a business. They're making a lot of money off of it. That's it. And now that the money's kind of dried up and a lot of people aren't still doing the OT levels, I think a lot of them have dropped off even being FSMs and have started their own businesses just to survive because the big money is gone out of Scientology. I mean, some of it still is. Let's face it. Like Nancy Cartwright, whoever got her to give $10 million probably got 10% of that, that's a pretty good portion. So in donations, you can be an IAS, helping get money to them. There's a lot of different ways you can make money in Scientology. Not many people do it. I'd say there's probably 10, maybe 20 that really do it. Probably about 5 that are really successful at it. So it's not a large group of people, but that's the answer to that question. So anyway, there you go on that. Taxes, for anybody who hasn't looked into this, look into and start asking, why doesn't the Church of Scientology have to pay taxes when it's basically a business and you have to buy every single course or level of the Truman Show? Are they paying taxes on that? No, because it's the Church of Scientology. But I hope you guys look into it. Anyway, there you go. Those are my answers for today. This is my favorite witch for Halloween. And I hope you guys do something very fun, for this month. Decorate your house. Do things fun. You know what I mean? I know things are really heavy and I should be very serious. But there's enough other people on CNN and other things that you can be serious. You got to have somebody to remind you there are some fun things in life. And this chick is one of them. All right, so have a great day. I love you all, and thank you for for subscribing, and thank you for moving it on. I really appreciate that. And it's definitely doing a dent in your own way. All right, so take care, have fun, be cool. Peace.